For many intermediate and advanced students, we hit what we call the intermediate plateau. You don't feel like you're making a lot of really steady progress. That's really normal when you're at an intermediate stage as a language learner. So this is why if you do specific topics, you can hear yourself learning the vocabulary and it helps you learn them more deeply before you move on to something else. And you just have to do it every day, okay? Just do 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, and over time, you will slowly hear and see that progress. That's what's going to help you get through this intermediate plateau. So we're gonna separate the sections of making output using the words into part 1, part 2. Part 1 is outputting with a script. Part 2 is outputting without a script. So we can do output with a script first. This way we know what we're doing is correct. The first thing I recommend to people to do is I want you to take whatever resource you watched, whatever video or podcast you've been listening to, and I want you to try to write a summary. So using some of the new words and new structures that you've looked at, try to write up a summary. And it's up to you how long. I recommend maybe about 1 page, 1 paragraph, nothing too crazy, maybe 200 to 300 words, just a clear and succinct paragraph. Trying to summarize something you watched is a really, really good exercise, especially because, so often in our life, we want to tell people, oh my God, I saw this video about this. We always want to tell people the things we see or the things that we watch. So using summarization as a strategy for language study is very effective. So say what happened, what you learned, and then share what you think. Many of you intermediate learners, lots of synonyms, I know. I've had students say forecast, predict, guess. What's the differences between anticipate, expect? What's the difference? This is how you learn. You can always use something like Merriam-Webster. It's gonna give you a lot of very good examples. But I do use ChatGPT sometimes for this too. If you have 2 synonyms and you're not very sure, you can say, what's the difference between admit and confess? And then it's gonna give me all of these examples. And this is a good way to increase your sense for these words as well. And I'll add as well, what you can do is this word collocations. Collocate with different words. Here are collocations, things that often go together. Admit the truth, admit a mistake, admit defeat, admit guilt. Confess a crime, confess your sins, confess guilt, confess to something. This is so useful. Study your collocations, everyone. That will be beneficial for you in writing up your summary. So like I said, produce a summary, use the sentence structures and the words that you've learned, write your summary. You can reuse sentences if you'd like, but I want you to mainly use your own grammar. Then get it double checked. I want you to ask the native speaker to record it too. So if you have a language partner, this is where you ask them for help. Send your script over and you can ask them for corrections. And then after they correct it, ask them to read it out loud. And once they read it out loud, you have new audio to practice with. You can practice echoing and repeating that audio. That's number 2. Number 3, I want you to take your corrected script. So now your script is corrected. It's accurate, good grammar, good vocabulary. You're gonna take your full sentences and you're gonna try to turn it into notes. Take notes on the key vocabulary and the key ideas. So here, recently, the news reported an incident about a woman who kicked an old lady on the MRT. This sparked a debate about the priority seats. I'm going to take these sentences and turn them into notes. Maybe news report story about kicked on MRT, priority notes, spark a debate about. Note down the key vocabulary, the key structures, and the overall ideas. And then I want you one more time to record yourself trying to talk about it with only the notes. Okay? So you're going to use just your notes to talk about and to once again make a summary just with notes. That is how you practice effective usage step by step. We start with memorizing, then we write it once, we get it corrected, and then we try one more time with our new knowledge just with notes.